Good morning, everyone. Let's start this session. So during the last lecture, we started with the module number 5, that was the force vibration. So we discussed the basic concepts of the force vibration. What is the meaning of force vibration? Then how the force vibration is created and what are the application areas for the force vibration. So these are some applications of the force vibration in the suspension or the isolators. Then shock absorber of the automobiles. Then vibratory conveyors, jackhammers, drill machines. Then we started with the simple force vibration. It was a mathematical modeling of the simple force vibration. So we have seen the equation of motion for the simple force vibration. What is the exciting force? So here F is equal to F0 sine omega t. It is the exciting force, which is a harmonic force. So it will cause the continuous oscillation of this mass m. So this is the force vibration. And because of this force F0 sine omega t, this mass will vibrate with some frequency and the amplitude. So this amplitude, it is derived by using equation of motion. Okay. So the equation of motion for a simple force vibration. So this is mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx. This is equal to f0 sine omega t. Okay. So this f0 sine omega t, this is called as the external force. And here frequency, which is omega, this is called as the excitation frequency. Excitation, or this is the external frequency. The value of force F is equal to F0 sine omega t. This is called as a exciting force, or this is external force. So if this is a spring mass and damper system, so this is a schematic diagram. So if you want this mass to oscillate continuously, then we have to provide some harmonic force. So this is the waveform of that force. So this waveform is nothing but F0 sine omega t. Okay. So if you provide this force to the mass, then its effect will be, we will get this similar waveform for the displacement. So finally, we are expecting this mass will oscillate under the action of this force F0 sine omega t. So it will produce some displacement x, and this displacement, it is also this sine wave. So this sine wave, it is having the equation x is equal to a sine omega t minus phi. Okay. So in the last lecture, we have derived the complete equation for the displacement. So basically the complete equation, which is called as a solution of this equation of motion. So it is having the form x is equal to x particular integral plus, x complementary function plus x particular integral. Okay. So the complementary function, its equation is similar to the equation of damp vibration, that is a free damp vibration. So I will write the general equation. This is C1 e raised to minus zeta plus square root zeta square minus 1 into omega nt plus C2 e raised to minus zeta minus square root zeta square minus 1 into omega nt. So this is just a complementary function. And this equation, it is the equation for the free damped vibration. And plus the particular integral, its equation is, this is a sine omega t minus phi. Okay. So this is called as a particular integral. So the addition of these two equations, that is a complementary function and particular integral, it will produce the final displacement x of the mass m because of this force F0 sine omega t. Okay. So right now this is just a mathematical equation. So in order to visualize actual displacement, we should draw the waveform x versus time. Okay. So if you draw the waveform for complementary function x versus time, so this is the waveform for the complementary function. So if you observe here, this zeta square minus 1, this is the equation for the overdamped system. Okay. So if you select the parameter zeta, that is, if you adjust the c value, mass value, and this k value in a such a way that the system will turn into overdamped system, so zeta will be greater than 1, then for this case, this graph x versus time for the complementary function, it will have the nature like this. Okay. So after some time, this x displacement, it will settle down to 0 value, and plus this waveform, which is a sine omega t minus phi. So it is a pure sine wave. Just there is a phase lag of phi with respect to the force value. Okay. So its nature will be the simple harmonic, and this maximum value, it is nothing but the capital A. This is called as the amplitude of the force vibration. Okay. And it will have some time period. So it will oscillate this waveform with this frequency, which is the frequency of excitation. Okay. That means the exciting force and the displacement both will have the same frequency, which is a omega. Okay. So if you add these two waveforms, one is a complementary function and particular integral, then the final waveform, it will be like this. This is called as a superimposition of the two waveforms or two functions. So for initial some time, you can observe this effect, which is called as a transient effect. The meaning of transient is, so this is called as a transient. So displacement is changing with respect to time, or it is continuously decreasing, and after some time it will vanish. Okay. So this, if you add these two waveforms, you can observe some fluctuations in the displacement for very small time duration. This is called as initial time. This is not exact. So this zone, we observe the effect of complementary function on the final waveform. So this is generally written as a transient, and after that, this waveform, it behaves as a pure sine function. So this is called as a steady state. The meaning of steady state is displacement is not constant. It is varying with the sine function, but its maximum value, it remains constant. So it behaves as a harmonic motion. So this maximum value is nothing but the capital A. So this is called as a steady state. Okay. And therefore, we neglect this part in this function. Okay. And just we write the final displacement x as a pure a sine omega t minus phi. Okay. So this equation we have studied or we have derived in the last lecture. So this is just an revision. So for the force vibration, the final equation for the displacement, so equation of the displacement of the mass, which is x is equal to a sine omega t minus phi. Okay. Then by using this equation, finally, we have derived one term which is called as a magnification factor. So that magnification factor, it is a basically ratio of the amplitude of the vibration to the static deformation. So this magnification factor is equal to A upon X static. So meaning of X static is, this is A upon F0 upon K. This is equal to 1 upon square root 1 minus R square bracket square plus 2 zeta R bracket square. Okay. So why this amplitude is written in this format, that is a ratio of A upon F0K, because if you observe this right hand side, then it is the only function of the frequency ratio R and the zeta value. Okay. So in order to study the effect of various damping factor and various frequencies, that is external excitation frequency, on this amplitude, we can write this complete equation in this format. Okay. And then we can plot the graph of this function or this value A upon F0 upon K versus R and zeta. Okay. So now we will see how to draw that graph. So this is a graph of magnification factor versus frequency ratio. So frequency ratio, this is R, is nothing but omega upon omega n. So it is a ratio of external frequency to the natural frequency of the system. Okay. So in order to plot this graph, y-axis, it will be the magnification factor. So this is magnification factor, which is nothing but A upon F0 upon K. And the x-axis, so here we will take the various values of the frequency ratio. So this is R, which is equal to omega upon omega n. Okay. So all these values, they are nothing but the frequency ratios. So the graph will start from this 0. This is the origin. Then we will take the frequency ratio 1, 2, 3, so on. So after 3, this is called as a higher frequency zone. Okay. On this y-axis, we will select the various values of the magnification factor. Okay. Okay, so this is our reference equation. Magnification factor, which is a upon F0 upon K is equal to 1 upon this square root. Okay. Now we have the y-axis and the x-axis. So we should calculate this value. by selecting the various values of R and zeta. Okay. So you can prepare this table if you want to plot this accurately. So the first value, select the zeta value as a 0. There is no damping in the system. Okay. So this case is possible if the C value is 0. That is, if you remove the damper from the system, then it will become the undamped vibration. So select this zeta 0, then you should vary. So we want to find out the magnification factor. That means this value. Okay. And this is the value of frequency ratio. R is equal to omega upon omega n. Okay. Now we will fix this value for all these readings. Zeta is 0. Just vary the R value. So you can select the first value as 0. Okay. Then you will select 0.5. Then select 1, 1.5. So after that, you will select the 2. Okay. When R is 0, just put the value R0 in this equation. And our first value zeta is 0. So as zeta is 0, this total term is 0. Okay. So when you put the R value 0 in this equation, you will get 1 upon square root 1 minus 0. So finally, your value of this function A upon F0k, it will become 1. That is the magnification factor is 1 at the 0 frequency. Okay. Select the second value 0.5. Zeta is 0. So this function already 0. Just put the value R 0.5. So you will get the value. Let's try to calculate this value. So this is 1 upon square root 1 minus 0.5 square bracket square. So we will get the value as a 1.33. At one value, you will observe the drastic change. So if you put the value 1 here, so 1 square, it is a 1 minus 1, it will become 0. So you will get this function as 1 upon 0, and this is equal to infinity. Okay. So this one frequency, this is called as a resonant frequency. So when R is 1, so basically R is nothing but omega upon omega n. That means at this condition, your external frequency of the oscillation, if it is equal to the natural frequency, then you can observe this magnification factor as the infinity. That means your amplitude, it will be the maximum value. Okay. And system, that is, if the spring mass system vibrates at this frequency, that is a resonant frequency, there is a possibility of the failure of that mechanism or structure. Okay. So this is the infinite value. Again at 1.5. So this is a 0.8. Now it will start reducing as we are increasing the frequency, and it will approach to 0 after some time. Okay. So at 2 frequency, that is the frequency ratio is 2, not frequency is 2. This is 0.33. So if you want to have a smooth graph, you can increase this value. So reduce the step size. So I have taken 0, after that 0.5. So you can take 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, so on. Okay. So I will just plot the graph. So this one frequency, this is called as a resonant condition. So if the zeta is 0, only at this case, we will observe the infinite value of the magnification factor. So first value R0. So at the R0, so this is the R0, the magnification factor is 1. That is, your graph will start from the 1 value. After that, at 0.5, your magnification factor becomes 1.33. So somewhere here. So this is the second. This is your first reading. So it will keep increasing, and at the infinite, sorry, at the value 1 frequency ratio, graph will be infinite. So we will get the different values like this. Okay. And once you cross the frequency ratio 1, that is a resonant frequency, again your graph will decrease. So you will observe here 0.8, 0.33. So at 1.5, so this is your 1.5. So suddenly we have got the 0.8. So somewhere here, that means you will get the values like this. Okay. So this is your graph. So actually this is a smooth curve. And this is the graph after resonant frequency. And then it will approach to 0 at 2 frequency. That is, the frequency ratio is 2, your value is 0.33. It is very close to 0 value. So this will approach to 0. So this is just for zeta 0. Okay. Now second observation table, if you want to draw, you can select the value zeta as a 0.1. Again, you have to find out these same values. You have to prepare the table, find out this magnification factor by varying the values of frequency ratio. Okay. So what is the effect by adding the damper in the system? So it will reduce the maximum value of the magnification factor at the resonant condition. Okay. So you can observe here the effect when we add zeta is 0.1. So your nature of the graph, it will be like this. Now this value is not infinite. So this is the use of adding the damper. You can control the resonant amplitude in a specified range by adding the damper. So this is zeta 0.1. Again, if you add the value, that is, if you increase the value zeta, take 0.2, after that take 0.3. So this value, it will decrease. So here we are increasing the value of zeta. So it is a 0.3. After that, I have selected this is 0.5. This is 0.6. So this dotted line. So this is one special value of zeta, which is a zeta is equal to 0.707. Okay. So at this zeta value, which is a 0.707, we cannot observe the peak value. Okay, so here everywhere you can observe this peak value. Okay, but at this value, zeta 0.707, so we cannot observe the maximum value, and after 0.707 you can observe this graph. Okay, so these values are overdamped values. Zeta 1, this is zeta 2. So this is the graph of magnification factor versus frequency ratio. Okay. So if you want to control the displacement of the mass to a specified value, then by using this graph, you can select what is the value of damping required. Okay. Suppose your machine has a frequency. Suppose we have the natural frequency. Let us take this as 100 radian per second. So this is the natural frequency of your machine. Okay. And suppose this machine, it is to be operated at the frequency. So let us take this frequency, which is excitation frequency, omega. So it is a 50 rad per second. Okay. So what is the ratio? Frequency ratio here. So R value will be omega upon omega n, that is a 50 upon 100. So it is a 0.5. Okay. So this is a 0.5. So you can just draw a vertical line. And if you want to achieve a specific value of the displacement, okay, suppose you expect the magnification factor. Let us take this to be 1.5. This is your requirement. That means you have to adjust the magnification factor of that machine or that mass to be 1.5. So how much damping is required in that machine, that you can find out by using this graph. Okay. So this is the physical significance of this graph. So this is not just a mathematical figure. By using this diagram, you can select the proper value of the damping in your system. So this is the value here. Okay, so by using this graph, you can select to be zeta. If you want to have zeta 0 or some other value, if there is one more graph. Actually, this is not exact graph. Okay, so just select this value to be zeta 0.1. Okay, so you can select these values, and accordingly, you can adjust the component in your machine. Okay. So from this graph, there are some characteristics. So you note down this characteristic by observing this graph. So the first characteristic is at zero frequency. The meaning of zero frequency is zero excitation frequency. So omega is 0. Omega n cannot be 0. The magnification factor is 1 for all the values. For all values of zeta. Okay, that means you can have zeta from 0 to infinite. Okay, but if the omega is 0, then the magnification factor will be 1. So here you can observe all the graphs, they are starting from same value. This is your magnification factor, and this is the frequency ratio. Okay, and this is the 1 value. So this is only zeta 0. So all the graphs will start from the same value. Then second, at the resonant condition, so what is the resonant condition or resonance? When omega is equal to omega n, or omega upon omega n, this is equal to 1. That is called as a frequency ratio. Okay. The magnification factor, it depends on just a zeta value. Okay. So its equation is A upon x static. This is called as a magnification factor. This is equal to 1 upon 2 zeta. Okay. So you have the equation of magnification factor is equal to 1 upon the square root 1 minus r square bracket square plus 2 zeta r bracket square. Okay. So at resonant condition, just put the value r is equal to 1 in this equation. Okay. So if you put here r1, so 1 minus 1, 0. So this bracket will be cancelled out. Okay. Remaining value is in the square root 2 zeta r bracket square. Okay. So as r is 1, so this is 2 zeta square and the square root. So remaining value is 1 upon 2 zeta. So this is magnification factor at resonance. Okay. Then third characteristic, as a damping increases, the magnification factor reduces for all values of frequency ratio. Okay. So as the damping increases, the magnification factor will reduce for all values of frequency ratio omega upon omega n. So what is the meaning of this sentence? You can observe here this graph zeta 0, then we increase the zeta as a 0.1. After that, this is a 0.2, this is 0.3. Okay. So you can observe here, just select any one frequency. So let's take this frequency ratio is 1. Just draw one vertical line. As we are increasing the zeta, you can observe this maximum value, it is continuously reducing as we are increasing the zeta value. You can select another value. Let us take this 0.5. You can observe the same condition here. For increasing value of zeta, there is a reduction in the maximum value. That is called as a magnification factor. Okay. And the fourth characteristic is the maximum value of magnification factor which is the M. So this magnification factor or maximum value of the magnification factor is observed on the right side of the frequency omega upon omega n 1. Okay. So the meaning is, if you plot this graph accurately, so this is your magnification factor and this is a frequency ratio. So this is a resonant condition 1 and we have different values on the right side. So if you draw a vertical line at this resonant condition, all the lines or all the curves for magnification factor, they will start from one value. So this is the first graph where the zeta 0. Okay. Suppose here zeta is 0.1. Then this maximum value, it is on the right side of this resonant frequency. This is called as a resonant frequency condition. So this is for zeta 0.1. If you further increase the value of zeta, so here zeta is 0.2. So this peak value, it is on the right side. Okay. Suppose here zeta is 0.5. Again, you will observe the same condition. It is little towards the right side. So this is our fourth characteristic. So even you can find out at what frequency you will observe this maximum value. Okay, so from this graph, it is clear maximum value of the magnification factor, it is not observed at the resonant frequency, but on the right side of the resonant frequency. So from this peak point, if you draw a vertical line, then at this point, there is some frequency or frequency ratio. Okay, so this frequency, this is called as a peak frequency, omega p. Okay. So this omega p we can find out by the differentiation. So I will directly give the equation for omega p. So omega p we can find out by this equation. This is 1 minus 2 zeta square into omega n. Okay. So suppose some natural frequency is given for a particular system, and for a particular value of zeta, you can find out what is the peak frequency. So at this frequency, you can observe the peak value of the magnification factor or the amplitude of the mass. So this equation is similar to the damped frequency. So we have the omega d is equal to 1 minus zeta square into omega n. Okay, and just here we have the 2. It is 1 minus 2 zeta square. So note down this equation. So now we will see the phase and frequency response graph. So actually this graph, this is called as a frequency response graph. So here we study the effect of various frequencies on the magnification factor or amplitude. Okay.